This is a true story. A ship's cook was using the restroom when, out of nowhere, a massive wave flipped the entire vessel upside down. Harrison, still on the toilet, was thrown violently as the bathroom plunged into darkness. Outside, he could hear terrifying screams echoing through the ship. Fear surged through him. He rushed out and found three of his coworkers desperately trying to force open a hatch to escape. He wanted to help, but the rising water was already pouring in, and the door was jammed shut under crushing pressure. Realizing escape wasn't possible, Harrison ran to a side cabin to find a life jacket. As cries for help filled the corridors, he grabbed a vest and a small solar-powered light. But when he tried to leave, that door too wouldn't budge. The water outside had risen so high, it was pressing it closed. The ship was sinking fast. Gradually, everything grew eerily silent, except for the sound of metal grinding against the ocean floor. His light flickered and went out, leaving him in pitch-black darkness. Trapped, Harrison knew the air wouldn't last long. In desperation, he decided staying put meant certain death. He braced himself, took a deep breath, and forced the door open. Diving into the icy black water, he swam blindly, his hands brushing against the lifeless bodies of his three crewmates. Terrified, he forced himself to stay calm and push forward. By sheer luck, he reached an office space that hadn't yet flooded, but his body was freezing from the cold seawater. To survive, he built a small raft from floating mattresses and boards, climbing on top to keep out of the water. Starving and thirsty, he scavenged a bottle of Coca-Cola and a can of fish to keep himself alive. For 2 days, he waited in silence. He could hear only the faint sounds of sea life moving around him. At one point, he heard ships above, but they left after placing markers. No one came down to rescue him. On the third day, Harrison finally saw a beam of light under the water. He banged on metal, trying to get attention. A diver appeared, but swam right past him, searching for bodies. Desperate, Harrison swam after him and grabbed his leg. Shocked, the diver panicked. He hadn't expected to find anyone alive. Once the initial shock wore off, Harrison led the diver back to the air pocket and explained what had happened. Because he had been trapped so deep for so long, he couldn't just be brought straight to the surface. He had to be placed in a decompression chamber for 2 days before he could safely come out. Harrison was the only survivor out of the 12 men on board that Nigerian shipwreck.